for the western coast, especially for the coast of Saurashtra and Kutch. And of course, Pakistan is going to be fearing this particular cyclone as well, because Biparjoy is going to make landfall today. We've got some very nice satellite images and pictures that the Times of India has put out. It says landfall today, Gujarat braces for very severe cyclone Biparjoy. Cyclone Biparjoy clicked from space by astronaut Sultan Al-Neyadi at the International Space Station. I'll just try and show it to the camera. I don't know if the small picture is going to do justice to it, but take a look at that. That right there, the white portion that you see over there, that's cyclone Biparjoy that you can see. Landfall expected today. That the big cloud that you see is cyclone Biparjoy. Well, it's likely to cross Saurashtra, Kutch and adjoining Pakistan coast between Mandavi, which is in Gujarat, and Karachi, which is in Pakistan, near Jakhau port, which is in Kutch, by today evening, as a very severe cyclonic storm with maximum sustained winds of 120 to 130 kmph and gusting up to 145 kilometers per hour. I'm scared to drive my car above 70 kilometers per hour, I'll tell you what, Varghese. Waves up to 3 to 6 meters high, and we've seen people enjoying the Marine Drive in Mumbai, the Gateway of India, exactly those visuals that you can see on your screens. These are live shots that you can see. The sea is already rough, acting rough. It's going to make landfall today evening. We're sitting at about, 9:25 a.m. right now. What's going to happen? 74,000 people that have been evacuated from their Varghese. This is the Marine Drive that you can see, portion of it. Even the Gateway of India, and the waves, high tide waves, high waves that were lashing that particular coast. It was beautiful to see. There is a little bit of excitement also. People from Uttarakhand that were in Dwarka, I was listening to their reactions. They were really excited to see the sea acting up, but you don't take any pangas essentially with Mother Nature.
Yeah, that's true, and almost it's being said that over 70,000 people have to be taken to safety, and they've been evacuated from many places. You have the Hindu also reporting on it, and as you pointed out, well, a very severe cyclonic storm with wind speeds of ranging between 125 to 135 kilometers, gusting to 145 kilometers from morning till evening on Thursday. So this is the kind of wind speed that you're going to look at when it comes to Biparjoy, and several teams of SDRF, NDRF as well as the Army have, again, a good place where the Army has also stepped in, have been deployed in these areas to in fact ensure that whatever emergencies are there or whatever challenges that are going to be there, they are going to
some 20 teams of NDRF, some 18-19 teams of the SDRF, they've already been on the ground. The Army has been really supporting, from ration to essential supplies, to cooking gas, cooking oil, all of these essentials were already transported. The Prime Minister was really prompt. He took that particular review meeting. He took stock of the preparedness of the state of Gujarat, and it seems like the disaster management is on point.
Well, you have braced yourself, you have prepared yourself, and I think this is something that everyone is now waiting to see as to how it is going to develop. It is going to be between the borders of India and Pakistan where this landfall is going to take place, and the sea has been rough. It's been rough. The wind speed has also picked up. Saurashtra is the place where everyone's concentrating right now. Well, the IMD has issued a red alert for the 6 coastal districts which are likely to bear the brunt of the storm after it reaches land. It predicted extremely heavy rainfall accompanied by strong winds in coastal parts of Saurashtra-Kutch region, especially in the districts of the Kutch, Porbandar and Devbhoomi Dwarka. So heavy rains lashed the coastal areas on Wednesday as a prelude to the impending cyclonic storm. There have already been 3 casualties in Saurashtra. We have also mentioned that as well. So we see that everyone is now preparing for the cyclonic weather that is there. That's what, of course, was the
This is what the Indian Express has put out, and there's a little explained portion over here as well, because even as a red alert has been sounded in Saurashtra, 74,000 people have been evacuated. We're hopeful that everything's happened in a positive light. The government has taken the right steps. The army has taken the right steps. But at the same time, there's a little explained portion. It says cyclones are no longer a threat as they were in the 90s and the early 2000s. It says for a country that gets hit by a cyclones fairly regularly, at least 2 or 3 times a year, it is not surprising that India has put in place standard operating procedures to deal with these. Cyclones are no longer as big a threat as they were till the 1990s or even the early 2000s. It was the devastation caused by the 1998 super cyclone in Odisha. The unofficial estimates of death toll range anywhere between 10,000 to 30,000 that turned out to be a wake-up call and forced the government to develop a comprehensive plan to deal with cyclones. And only yesterday, Varghese, we were talking about how the Ministry of Home Affairs and the central government have announced that 8,000 crore rupee, disaster management deal package, something for water, calamities, something for natural calamities that have to do with air, all of that. So the government is also focused in its approach when it comes to disaster management.
Well, look, it is also interesting to note that they have the standard operating procedures, as you rightly pointed out. That was the wake-up call during the super cyclone in the 90s in Odisha. And let me in fact show you a very interesting picture and a small statistic. The way it has been put out, it just shows the evacuations and the teams that have been deployed. Just small statistics, and that too on the Hindustan Times. It just says, bracing for Biparjoy, and it goes saying 74,345 people have been evacuated, 15 NDRF teams, 12 SDRF teams, 500 plus teams of state road, building department and electricity department. All of them have been in fact deployed when it comes to all things on the ground, because you see, first, we should understand that the infrastructure is anyway vulnerable to any natural calamity.
Infra damage is what happened last time around. Also.
Yeah, exactly. So infra damage is something. So they have been thoughtful enough to ensure that different departments who are looking into infrastructure are also deployed to ensure that probably maintenance is required, or if there is a problem with infrastructure like communication, I think they can restore it. So that is in fact an advanced thought. So as you rightly pointed out, things have gone way ahead when it comes to mitigating a storm. But yes, we have to just wait and watch as the cyclone makes its landfall, and hopefully let's see how it turns out to be.
Evening today, Cyclone Biparjoy is going to make its landfall. I'm sure Twitter is going to be buzzing and flooding with visuals of winds and trees being uprooted, because we know that infrastructure damage is something that we have to expect. It's Mother Nature knocking on the door. A deep depression, now a very severe cyclonic storm. What's going to happen? Anybody's guess. We're well prepared. We've embraced ourselves. We've prepared for the worst, and we must now hope for the best.